Did you know that there is a reason why the enemy insists on attacking you? He tries to disturb your mind, steal your peace, and create confusion inside your home. And it is not by accident. It is because at some point, you stopped using the words that most weaken his power, the words that expose his lies, the words he fears to hear. And before you think this is just another motivational message, let me warn you. Today we are not going to talk about pretty verses. We are going to talk about weapons. Weapons that make the enemy tremble because they expose exactly where he tries to hit you and why he fears you discovering this. In this video, you are going to learn the 7 biblical passages the devil hates, because when you declare these words, he loses voice, strength, and territory. And to begin, check if you are already a member of our channel and like this video. That way we can take the word even farther. Also, take a moment to leave in the comments the city from where you are watching us. Maybe no one has ever told you this before, but there is a specific lie the enemy uses to keep Christians weak, anxious, and defeated. The lie that he still has dominion over you. That is why his first attack always happens in the mind, in the emotional field, in the silent doubts you do not tell anyone about. But today we are going to expose this lie once and for all, because the first passage the devil hates is one that reveals exactly where your authority is and why he works so hard to keep you from remembering it. The word says in Luke 10:19, "I have given you authority over all the power of the enemy." Have you ever stopped to think about the strength of these words? It is not an invitation, it is not a suggestion, it is not an emotional encouragement. It is a legal, spiritual, and eternal declaration. All of hell is bothered when a Christian wakes up to this truth, because the authority Jesus gave is not based on mood, feeling, or circumstance. It is based on spiritual position. This means that even on your worst days, when your emotions are shaken and your mind feels tired, the authority Christ gave you does not decrease even a millimeter. The enemy knows this, and that is exactly why he tries to make you forget. When you declare this passage out loud, you are not begging for protection. You are enforcing victory. You are reminding the kingdom of darkness that you no longer belong to their territory. The question is, how many times have you given up this authority because you believed an emotional lie? And an even deeper question, do you understand what happens spiritually when you begin to declare what Jesus has already given you? If this verse speaks to you, write the word authority in the comments, because this will mark in your mind and in your spirit that something is changing inside you today. But this revelation only works fully when the Christian understands the second area where the enemy works tirelessly: fear. Because if he cannot steal your authority, he will try to paralyze your courage. He knows that a conscious Christian is dangerous, but a courageous Christian is devastating. That is why the second passage the devil hates is 2 Timothy 1:7. "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." Fear is the enemy's favorite weapon. He does not need to touch your body when he can control your mind. He does not need to destroy your future if he can convince you to give up before you even try. How many times have your thoughts pushed you into a dark place, making you imagine the worst possible scenario? And here is the point: fear does not come from God. And if it does not come from God, why do so many Christians treat it as if it were part of their personality? It is not. It is a spiritual intruder. This verse destroys the mental, emotional, and spiritual attack because it declares that God has given you 3 tools hell cannot tolerate: power, love, and a balanced mind. Power is not aggressiveness. Power is inner authority. Love is not weakness. Love is spiritual maturity. A sound mind is not the absence of problems. A sound mind is stability in the midst of chaos. Each one of these things weakens the enemy. And when you begin living conscious of these 3 truths, you realize that fear only works when it finds cooperation. And what if you stop cooperating with it? What if you begin speaking differently, praying differently, thinking differently? Fear would lose its home inside you. But there is something even more uncomfortable for the devil than seeing a fearless Christian. Seeing a Christian submitted to God. That is why the third passage he hates is in James 4:7. "Submit yourselves to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." This is one of the most humiliating declarations for the enemy, because it reveals that his power is not in the attack, but in the opportunity the Christian gives. The devil has no freedom to act where there is genuine surrender to God. He only operates where there is pride, rebellion, and spiritual independence. Maybe this is one of the hardest truths for many to accept. Resistance is not strength, it is alignment. It is not about trying to fight alone. It is about not fighting away from God. When a Christian submits, the atmosphere changes. The enemy does not walk away. He does not calmly turn around. He runs. He flees in haste because he has no power to remain where God rules. Have you ever asked yourself why in some moments of your life things seemed out of control? Were there areas where you were trying to solve everything by force instead of surrendering to the Lord? And when was the last time you truly resisted the devil with firmness? Not emotionally, but spiritually. If this word is opening your eyes, write surrender in the comments, because this breaks spiritual chains the enemy tries to keep hidden. And following this flow, we reach the fourth passage that hell hates, Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Many Christians read this verse as poetry, but this is not poetry. This is spiritual legal right. It does not say that the weapons will not be formed. It says they will not succeed. The difference is enormous. The attack may appear, the pressure may increase, the enemy may try to intimidate, but none of it has divine authorization to prosper. And this completely shapes the way you face spiritual battles. You do not fight trying to gain victory. You fight from a victory already established. When you declare this verse, you draw an invisible yet real line in the spiritual realm. It is as if you were saying, "Up to here, you go no further." And this posture is a reminder to the enemy that your life is covered by something greater than any evil plan. Maybe you have faced betrayal, injustice, losses, strange attacks, or moments of darkness that almost broke you. But even in those moments, no weapon could prosper, and that is why you are still here. But now we enter one of the most uncomfortable passages for the devil. Revelation 12:11. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. This is the fifth passage. The enemy hates this verse because it reminds him of the exact moment of his defeat. The blood of the Lamb is the eternal proof that you were purchased, cleansed, and set free. There is no accusation that can stand against this blood. There is no curse that remains where this blood speaks. There is no shame that survives where this blood is applied. But there is a second element that the devil fears almost as much as the blood. Your testimony is dangerous because it publicly exposes what the enemy tried to do in secret. He wanted to destroy your faith. You tell how God restored you. He wanted to end your marriage. You tell how the Lord rebuilt it. He tried to place addiction, fear, or depression in your life. You say out loud how God lifted you up. That is the power of testimony. It turns what the devil tried to use to shame you into the weapon you use to humiliate hell. If this truth is speaking to you, write testify in the comments, because this is the kind of word that destroys internal chains you did not even know existed. And after that, we reach the sixth passage, 1 John 4:4. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. This verse destroys the arrogance of darkness because it reminds the enemy that he is not facing you. He is facing the Spirit who dwells inside you. The Christian needs to understand that he does not fight from the outside in, he fights from the inside out. The power the enemy fears is not in your personality, nor in your psychological strength, nor in your ability. It is in the presence of God that lives in you. This verse breaks spiritual intimidation because it completely changes how you perceive the attack. Instead of thinking something big is coming against me, you begin to think something greater is already inside me. And that changes everything. Posture, courage, prayer, behavior, resistance. And finally, we arrive at the seventh verse, Romans 8:37. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. This is the final blow. The devil does not only fear a Christian who resists, he fears a Christian who knows he is a conqueror. And more than that, more than a conqueror. This means you did not merely survive, you overcame. It is not emotional victory based on excitement or motivation. It is victory decreed by Christ, recorded in heaven and written for eternity. If this truth is burning inside you right now, write victory in the comments, because this declares to the spiritual world that you understand who you are. And now that you know these 7 spiritual weapons, here is where many people make a mistake. They think all of this is beautiful poetry, when in reality, these are tools of war. None of these passages were written to decorate the Bible. They were written to put the enemy in his place. That is why when the word enters your mouth, the enemy loses his voice. If this word spoke to your heart, if you felt the voice of God while hearing each verse, subscribe now and leave your like. This helps me continue bringing messages that strengthen your faith. And if you reach the end, write "I love the Bible" in the comments. And get ready. The next video is already on the screen. 7 lies the devil tells Christians every single day. You need to see this.